I think the only winner is Wild Rose, because they've now got people talking about them as the possible government minority, or at least, you know, a very strong challenger to the Conservatives. This is an entirely new perception for a lot of people who've been watching politics. I've covered my first election in 1979 in this province, and there's never been a week like this, because there's never been a really serious consideration, except in 1993, briefly, of another party forming the government. So I don't see how on the tactical level you could declare anybody but Wild Rose the winner in this week.
It was also a bad week for the other parties to try and break in between. This was dominated by the PCs and the Wild Rose.
It's true, because I think people are looking at all the possibilities, and if they decide they really want one party or the other to win, they're going to flow to one or two of the big parties, right? The other possibility, of course, is people start thinking minority. They may well think, well, we want somebody having some influence in this minority, so maybe votes go back to the Liberals, or particularly the NDP. I think I've heard people saying that they plan to vote NDP because they don't want Wild Rose to be the government, but they don't mind the idea of a Wild Rose minority. There's all kinds of possibilities going on here we've never even thought about before.
That we're looking at strategic voting in an Alberta election after the first week.
No
That's
kidding.
Astounding.
No kidding. And of course, for the Conservatives have got to get their campaign back on the rails. They did this thing with giving back the money. That didn't seem to play too well with a lot of people because they waited so long to do it. And they're going to have to find some kind of stronger focus to get back in this game.
Week 2 is a shorter week with a holiday on Friday. What do you anticipate?
More, you know, I anticipate that you'll see some kind of change in tone in the PC campaign. They have to start coming up with something, and there supposedly is going to be a lot of conversation about that over the weekend, or what they're going to do next week.